Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode of New Album Spotlight, the show where I put the spotlight on a new album in progressive rock that I'm really into and want to share with you guys. If you like the same kind of music as me, it should be one to check out. Based on my description, you can go off, listen to it on your platform of choice, and just enjoy the music. That's really the premise of the show here, just to let you know that so much great music is coming out today. You know, a lot of people think prog is an old-fashioned genre, music that came out in the 70s and then died, but I'm here to tell you that it's still alive and thriving if you dig a little deeper and look for these great, incredible bands. And I have another one today. This is Southern Empire, who are an incredible prog band formed in Adelaide, Australia in 2014. This is their third album that I'm going to be talking about, called Another World. Their first album was self-titled, which came out in 2016. Really incredible album that showcased their ability for great strong hooks and melodies, but a bit of that progressive flavor and flair that adds a lot of variety and adventurousness into the music. Their next album, Civilization, came out in 2018, which to me catapulted them to another level. It got a lot of buzz in the prog community, has a couple big, expansive epics that were really great and that explored a lot of musical territory and were so much fun to listen to. And it just energized the prog genre and was one of my favorite albums of that year. And so this was a hotly anticipated album, this new one from Southern Empire, and it comes with a pretty major lineup change. The lead singer, Danny Lopresto, left the band, I believe, earlier this year. They had already recorded the album, everything was pretty much done and in the can, and then Danny Lopresto basically told the band he didn't want to continue with them, and he left. And so they were faced with a dilemma of what do they do now. And so they brought on a new singer, Sean Holton, who came in and basically re-recorded all the vocals to these tracks and added his unique flavor to the album. And it really adds an extra dimension and great quality to what was already a stellar output. So I'm really excited to talk about it. This is a great album that really blends some cool pop hooks, but with a progressive backbone and some harder edged moments at times. You know, they're not afraid to get into some heavier, crunchy guitars, but there's a lot of variety in the music. They can go into a more jazz-infused section. They can do something that's more in the metal vein. They can do something that's more laid-back, pop-flavored. They just can do it all, and that's one of the qualities I like in the bands that stand out to me in the genre, is that they're able to be chameleons and infuse different little tastes from different genres into their stew of music, which is something that I enjoy quite a bit. And one of the highlights of the album is the vocals. You know, not just from Sean Holton, who's an incredible singer and showcases his talent all over this project, but you also have some other incredible singers in the group. You have Cam Blockland, who plays guitars, but his vocals are focused on in two different tracks where he's the lead singer, but he's also all over the background as well and doing a lot of harmonies. And Danny Lopresto's vocals are still in the background here, so there's a lot of his harmony vocals that beef up the sound and provide this really great blend. And so I really love it. I think it's an incredible sound. And this album, even though it didn't grab me on first listen for whatever reason, I think there were other factors at play of my mindset when I was listening to it. But over time, it's just grown on me and become one of my favorites that I've listened to recently. So I'm just really impressed with this output. It's extremely well produced. It has a really crisp and clean and clear sound, and it just feels modern and fresh in this prog genre, which can sometimes feel a little bit dated. But to me, this sounds a lot more modern and a lot more energetic than some of your standard prog fare. It starts out with Reaching Out, which to me is a great burst of prog energy. Love the vocal harmonies, showcasing Sean Holton as a member of the group. Great proggy moments, but it keeps that accessibility with some cool prog hooks. And there's a great proggy breakdown in the middle with these swirling harmony vocals that are a feature throughout the album. Just an incredible start. It's a shorter track, but it gets the juices flowing and is a great burst of energy to get you excited and pumped for what's to come on the album. Face the Dawn is a great shorter epic track. It's almost 13 minutes long, starting a bit spacier with some bursts of electric guitar and expansive synths. There's great vocals here as well. I believe this was one of the premier tracks that Sean Holton used to showcase his talents to the band when he was being considered to join the band. So it's no surprise that his voice is all over this and is showcased brilliantly with some great backing harmonies as well. There's a great breakdown about 4 minutes in with acoustic guitar and violin interplay, bit of a classical flair with trading vocals between Cam and Sean. Really great effect there. Some spoken word soundbite comes in before a more jazzier interlude with funky bass lines, solos of screaming sax and soaring guitars. A really cool section that adds another layer of that variety that I was talking about, leading into a more anthemic section before a more melodic guitar and violin soloing takes it all home. Great stuff. And even a cool a cappella style display towards the end where the music drops out and you really get to focus on those sumptuous vocal harmonies. So a really great track leading into Hold On To Me, which is just a beautiful, gorgeous ballad with featuring acoustic guitar and Cam's standout vocals. Great hook-filled, catchy chorus. I really enjoy that. To me, in a better world, this should be like a hit single on the radio, you know, if the popular music consensus was more in line with my tastes, I suppose. But I just think it's a really beautiful, well-crafted track. And I love how it bursts to life, where the full band comes in suddenly to give it more power, and you get Sean's vocals in the backing, these more higher range, powerful vocals that really complement Cam really well. It's just a beautiful track that's perfectly composed and sounds pristine and beautiful. When You Return is a funkier, harder rocking track with tons of groove all throughout. There's a great mid-song dreamy interlude with guitar and keyboard interplay, especially beautiful when you add those layered vocals to it. Before it returns back to that funk mode with a killer guitar solo. Just a fun, shorter track, once again, that really has a good punch to it. Moving Through Tomorrow is another longer track that's flirting with a bit of an epic length. A little over 10 minutes here. We get some programmed keys leading to a big anthemic sound with big crunchy riffs. I love the middle section where you get some proggy keys and great vocal harmonies. Gets breezy with gorgeous melodies and these harmonic swells. Excellent synth solo soars at the end of this section before we're back to that heavier crunch of the main riff of the song. So really great how it moves through the track. And I love that expansive midsection that gives you so much of these breezy, jazzy qualities, and it's just a beautiful variation to the sounds. Then we come across the big epic length track, almost 20 minutes long, is White Shadows, which opens with this gorgeous keyboard and orchestrations from Sean Timms. Feels like a mixture between a classical sound and a film score. It's really great, and it goes on for several minutes before the full band comes in with a more rocking feel and Sean's wonderful vocals coming into the mix. There's some jazzy inflections with sax in the background. There's a heavy metal type section with some quick prog metal infused instrumentals. Great stuff. That leads us more into a groove bass section with saxophone. We get some beautiful 12-string acoustic guitars, deep bass work and flute, accompanying Cam's pleasing vocals, building some big anthemic sounds as the vocals reach their big climax. And you get a cool instrumental interlude moment, a jazz prog workout with some jazzy keyboards and grooving guitar playing amongst a really bouncing bass. Really cool before it returns to the main hook of the song for an epic conclusion. It's a really well-constructed epic with some great little nuanced moments in there of prog flourishes and just interesting variety that I really enjoy and makes for a great feast for the ears. And then we close out the album with Butterfly, which is another more poppier number sung by Cam. Acoustic guitar and sparkly keys start this one out. Gives a bit of a jazz inflection with some floating flute work and breezy 3-part harmonies. And it's just another catchy, cool song. You know, it's poppy, it has a catchy hook to it, but it stays interesting with some different prog flourishes that keep your entertainment levels up. It's just a really pleasing end to the album and a beautiful song to close things with. So all in all, it's just a beautiful record. I really enjoy every track here. There's something interesting to grab the ear for each of these tracks with the sumptuous vocal harmonies, with some of the crunchier riffs that come about, some of the different jazzier sections. There's some flute and sax work that's really well utilized. and some violin as well. So they're really able to explore a lot of different soundscapes and styles, but it still stays grounded in just really good songwriting, really great hooks and melodies that draw you in and keep you coming back for more, because those things become earworms in your brain and you just want to hear those hooks over and over. And so for me, that makes for an addictive listen that I've been enjoying and having a lot of fun with. So great way to cap off what I consider the Australian prog trilogy of the year, starting with the United Progressive Fraternity album, continuing with Unitopia, now finalizing with Southern Empire. All great records, all unique in their own styles, playing with a lot of different things, having a lot of eclectic music in the mix, but it's all well produced, great sounds, great hooks, great songs at their core, great singing, great vocal performances all throughout. And it's just really fun to have this group of musicians working so hard to produce such great music. I really love it, and I hope you guys will like it if you go check this one out. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. I've had a lot of fun talking about this one, and hopefully it'll encourage some of you to go check it out yourselves and hear it and see what the hype's all about. So thank you guys, and I hope to catch you in a future episode. Enjoy the music, everybody.